Good evening, everyone. We are here with yet another session. Today, we are here with Arijit Bhattacharya. He is from West Bengal, a final year MTech student from Biotechnology, KIIT University, KIT University, Bhubaneswar. Currently pursuing master's dissertation thesis project from the Department of Neurology in Imhans, Bangalore, on the topic of dementia. He is also a sitar player, disciple of Indian sitar maestro Pandit Purbayan Chatterjee. He is a biotech engineer passionate about clinical and cognitive neuroscience and music, and he has received diploma in music therapy certification from Center of Excellence as online education center with the Best Student Achievers Award in 2020. He has also received certification as a personalized music memory administrator from Music and Memory Organization USA, and received first prize in Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav, Bharat Sanskriti Utsav by MHRD and Sangeet Natak Academy, Government of India. He is also a contributor to NSS and awarded as a Best Volunteer Award for NSS KIIT. He also writes blogs and scientific articles to the musicalbrains.com. With this small introduction, Arijit, I want to welcome you on our platform On Your Growth. Thank you so much for your time on this platform.
Thank you, Bhavit, for such a wonderful introduction. So, you have said everything about me, and I think we can go ahead with the session. So let me just share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes.
It's visible, right? Okay. So hello everyone. I'm Arijit Bhattacharya. So just a short intro from my side. I'm a biotechnology student pursuing my BTech and MTech from KIIT University and pursuing my master's dissertation from Imhans. And also I'm a certified music therapist and music and memory administrator from the organization Music and Memory USA. And there's my website, themusicalbrains.com, where I write my blogs on neuroscience and music. Also, I sometimes post my music too. So let's move forward to a topic of discussion today. It's music and dementia. These are the topics which I'm going to cover. So dementia is not a particular disease. It's basically an umbrella term. As per WHO, dementia is a syndrome that can cause a number of diseases, which over the time destroys the nerve cells and damages the brain. Basically, it's a degenerative condition of the brain, and it can deteriorate the cognitive function, behavior, memory, etc. So it's not a single disease. There are a lot of diseases that comes under dementia umbrella term. The most common form of dementia is the Alzheimer's disease, and then comes the vascular dementia, dementia with Lewy body or Lewy dementia, frontotemporal dementia, and mixed dementia. So the number of people having dementia is increasing day by day. As per the survey of WHO, around 55 million people have dementia all over the world, and they have predicted the number is going to be 139 million by 2050. And they have also claimed that within a family, within 5 people, 1 people is going to have dementia. So the statistics shows that the world needs something that can reduce the fear of dementia and provide a new hope. Although there are a lot of researches going on the finding of the cure of dementia and also the diagnostic purpose. So it can be divided into 2 parts. One is pharmacological treatment option, and the other one is non-pharmacological treatment option. So considering the pharmacological treatment option, it involves drugs and medications, which depends upon the symptoms and the particular findings of the diagnosis. And the non-pharmacological treatment includes reminiscence therapy, speech therapy, physical therapy, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, CST, cognitive stimulation therapy, music therapy, dance therapy, movement therapy, etc. So today's discussion is going to be focused on music therapy and the aspect of music in dementia, like all kind of dementia. So is a booklet I've shown in this slide in the right side. You can see this is a booklet for cognitive stimulation therapy, which I'm also working at Nimhans. So this is a therapy which is widely used in United Kingdom, and we're trying to start this in India. So we're doing a feasibility study on that, and yeah. So coming to music now, music is something which can help in a lot of things. So music can increases attention, concentration. Music can help in learning. Music can help in cognitive functioning, movement, coordination, improving the quality of life and giving happiness. Listening to a particular music for around 5 minutes or 10 minutes will boost your confidence or interest towards listening to the other piece of music as well, which helps in attention and concentration. A lot of people prefer listening to music while solving math or even learning. I am also one of them. So in that case, music helps in the learning purpose. Coming to the cognitive functioning, music helps in understanding different instrumental sounds available in a particular music. So which helps in a coordination and cognitive function. You might have noticed while listening to piece of music, not all the piece of music, but at least some, you can feel a movement in your body, or maybe you can keep the rhythm with your hand or leg. So this is where music plays a part in the movement and coordination. Quality of life is something which is like, I guess, in today's world, all of us know that whenever we feel sad or even happy, we get our earphones ready and jump into our favorite playlist. So, and that kind of help in happiness as well. So yeah, music activates almost all the brain regions and networks. So it's very difficult to localize the music pathway. Just like we have a particular language section, we don't have a particular music understanding section. It's the whole brain plays a part in understanding music cognition, perception, and executing the joy and happiness in that. Music have a lot of components such as pitch, rhythm, timbre, melody, language, emotion, meaning, lyrics, and this all has different parts in our brain. So as a whole, our brain get involved as a whole in understanding the music perception and cognition. So in this slide, I'm just going to explain very briefly. Like, till now, we have found out that these are the regions which are mainly involved into music perception and cognition. So coming to the first point is corpus callosum, which connects both the sides of the brain or both the hemisphere of the brain. So it helps in interhemispheric coordination. So for example, if I say the language part is in the left hemisphere mostly, and it's believed that the melodic part stays in the right hemisphere. So when you listen to a music with the lyrics, maybe a song or something, so our left hemisphere plays a key role in understanding the words of the song, and the right hemisphere helps in understanding the melody when we can understand that whether we like the song or not. So this is where this part of the brain, corpus callosum, plays a part. So then comes the next part, which is motor cortex. So motor cortex involved the movement while dancing or playing instrument or even vibing with the music. This is where the motor cortex execute the body function. Then there's a prefrontal cortex, which controls the behavior, the expression, decision making. For example, if I listen to Mozart Symphony 41, my prefrontal cortex will decide whether I like it or not. And then it will tell me that Arijit, go and listen to Mozart Symphony 40. So this is where the prefrontal cortex plays a part. Now coming to the next part is the amygdala. So amygdala is a center for emotions in brain. And we all go through a emotional journey through the music while listening to a part of music. As I give Mozart example, so we all can feel the sad feeling of the Mozart symphony at the beginning and then coming to the joyful state of the music. I'll come to Indian classical music with that respect too. So when listening to Raga Bihag, if we consider, you can feel the happiness or joy, and that is where amygdala plays a part. So yeah, the next part is the sensory cortex. The sensory cortex controls the feedback while playing an instrument. So it's like if I'm playing a keyboard and I'm playing a note for sha, the sensory cortex will sense the note and tell my brain that it's sha. So the next note is re, as per the normal notation rule. So these where the sensory cortex plays its part. Now coming to the most important part of this whole musical memory or music cognition, there is the auditory cortex. Because we have to listen to the music or song in order to analyze. And this is where this auditory cortex plays a part. This listen to the sounds, perceives and analyze the tone. So this auditory cortex helps us in understanding and perceiving the music and deciding what to do next. Then comes hippocampus. Hippocampus is a memory junction. It involves in the music memory and experience. So we can easily remember which music we have listened from which movie, or if we listen to a symphony, you can easily understand whether it's Mozart or it's Beethoven. If you listen to Indian classical music for too long time, you can easily get understand that this note is dedicated to Raga Khamaj, not Raga Bihag, or Raga Bihag, not Raga Khamaj. They're different. And this is where this hippocampus plays a part in memorizing it. And also, there are a lot of musical memories we have. So, if I give an example, so my first musical training started with Raga Yaman. So I remember this because my hippocampus helped me in remembering this thing that the first raga I have listened or learned is Raga Yaman. So this is where the music memory comes with hippocampus. Then comes the visual cortex, which involved in reading music and looking at the dance moves. So reading music is not very much used in Indian classical music context, but it is widely used in Western classical music context. Though, yeah, it's there in every kind of music. So this is where the visual cortex plays a part. That this note is dedicated to this tone, this particular, sign is dedicated to this tune. So in that way, and the other part is we all have a very good imagination power. So what happened when you listen to a music, we can imagine some known scenario or the associated scenario with the music in our mind, and this is where the visual cortex plays a part. Now coming to the cerebellum. Cerebellum involves in movement while dancing or playing an instrument, and the emotional reaction as well. It's very complex to understand what is the exact function cerebellum is playing in a music perception. But yeah, it's believed that it helps in the movement while dancing, keeping a particular step with a particular music notation, and also emotional reaction. So yeah, thanks to American University of Health Sciences for designing this beautiful diagram. So yeah, moving forward. There are some benefits of music. There are a lot of benefits of music. Till now, even I also don't know all the benefits, but as much as I know, there are some benefits of music, which is known till the date. So the first point is regulating the agitation and anxiety. So it happens, music helps us giving a feeling that it is with us. Like it has the same feeling that I am feeling now. You might can try playing some old 70s, 80s Bollywood song in front of your father or the elderly people, and you can see their expression get changed because they will go through emotional ride a time machine right through this music to their time, which they can feel that they're still young and they're vibing to that music just they did on that time. So this is where it helps in regulating agitation as well as anxiety. So it helps in pain management in a way that so our prefrontal cortex is associated with a complex musical understanding. What it do when we are in a lot of pain, and if you listen to music, our brain gets distracted. It gets distracted in a way that what to do? Should I listen to the music first, or should I focus on this pain? So this is all about the focus, whether you're focusing on the pain or you want to focus on the music. And if the music is dominating, then definitely your focus is going to be there, and your pain will be ignored completely by your brain. And this is where helps in pain management. Sleep improvement, I think I don't need to explain this much because all of us have gone through this sleeping glories and sleeping music through childhood. Uh, there's always one song in my playlist which I used to listen before going to sleep. Uh, yeah, it's not a single music, I must say. There are a lot of music that I listen before going to the sleep. Some peaceful music, some tunes are violin or maybe flute, sometimes some songs, which helps us in going through a deep sleep state. Now, improving mood and depression is something which is very complex to understand. So, studies have found that music uh, can increase the level of dopamine in the brain and can decrease the level of cortisol in the brain. So, increasing the level of dopamine gives a rewarding feeling, which helps us in dealing with our mood and depression as well. Even in case of clinical depression, people have found, the doctors have found that music helps in increasing the amount of serotonin as well in the body, which gives us a feeling of happiness as well as helps us to deal with depression. Although, if someone have clinical depression, they must not rely on the music only. They should go to a clinician uh, or a consultant at the very first day when they will diagnose with a clinical depression. They should follow the instruction of a clinician. Along with that, they should try listening to some music which can help them in improving their mind state. So yeah, coming to the next 2 point, that is a therapeutic purpose. So speech therapy and physical therapy, they both loves to collaborate with music therapy. And this collaboration has given a very fruitful result. So coming to the speech therapy and music therapy collaboration, the speech therapy involves in the language part of our brain, and music involves the melodic part of the brain. So there is a particular therapy called melodic intonation therapy, MIT, which is used for the patients with aphasia. What the therapist do, they uses some language which a particular tone. So if you remember how you have learned ABCD in your childhood, you haven't learned it like ABCDEFGH. If you can, go through your mind time machine, then you'll remember that you have learned ABCD like ABCDEFC. See, this has a melody. So this is what this melodic intonation therapy do. It sometimes also uses some rhythm, so like one rhythm for A, two rhythm for B, like that, which helps in understanding the language as well as the spoken language part also. So this collaboration is really good, I think. Yeah, coming to the next therapy is a physical therapy with music. What music do? Music helps in a movement therapy as well. So what it do, while listening to a music, we can, put some steps with music. With a particular rhythm, we can put some step. And you might have seen that during the physical therapy session, a lot of physical therapists uses music as a side part of the therapy, which helps our brain engaging with that because doing only the physical therapy sometimes feel boring for some people, including me. So then comes the music, which makes it very engaging. which is, you can see in the next picture. So yeah, coming to the next slide. This slide explains the effect of Indian classical music. The very briefly, I must say, what Indian classical music is. So Indian classical music is divided into two parts, mostly, which is known as Hindustani and Carnatic. Hindustani classical music is very popular in the northern part of India, as well as also in some southern part of India. And the Carnatic music mostly comes from the southern part of India. So now there are many styles in Indian classical music, such as raga, tal, thumri, khayal, bhajan, folk, shufi, ghazal, etc. And this representation of everything is done in two ways. One is a vocal, and the other is instrumental. So each raga have a specific dedicated time zone uh, on its nature of the melody. If I give an example, we can play Raga Bhairav in the very early morning, and we play Raga Yaman in the evening. If I come to Raga Bhim Palasi, it's usually placed in the afternoon time. So, depending upon the nature of the melody, every raga have a dedicated time zone. So, listening to them on their dedicated time frame found to be very impactful. Even we, the musicians, or who plays the raga, they feel an immense joy while playing a raga in their particular time. So if someone asks me to play raga Yaman in the morning, I may not feel the same if I play the raga in the evening. So yeah, there's a thing, and the melodic, the melodic charm of the Indian classical instruments like tabla, Indian classical violin, then sarod, rabab, sitar, all these instruments have found to be very effective in emotional well-being. If we go to a classical music festival and if we listen to the alap at the beginning, we can feel that we can concentrate. At the end, when we'll go through the jhala and the tihai portion, if you observe very closely, then you can see that you're smiling while listening to that. So this is a charm of Indian classical music. So music have a lot of effects which I have discussed previously. But yes, depending upon its nature, every music have their own uh, dedicated effect. So here I come with the Indian classical music effect in our mood and emotional well-being. So Indian classical music helps in mood improvement, just like a normal music too, obviously. And then it helps in meditation. Even the sound of Tanpura, nothing else, just empty room, and the sound of Tanpura can help you meditate. And yeah, it helps in concentration, attention. As I mentioned, listening to the alap section of raga will help in improving your concentration and attention. Coming to the memory part, so as I remember which raga is dedicated to what particular timing. So this helps in memory. Then comes to the mind and body coordination. This is where you have to know the particular notes in order to understand that these notes are dedicated to Raga Yaman. These notes are not for Raga Bihag. This note is dedicated to Raga Khamaj, not to Raga Des. Although Raga Des and Khamaj have the same notation, but the Chalan, the style of playing is very different in both of them. So this is how your mind and body coordination helps in understanding a raga and executing it. The time relationship understanding, a lot of people with dementia found to have an impairment in the time relationship understanding. They don't know that what particular time of a day it is. They might say it's the evening when it's the morning. So in that case, dedicating a particular music and making them listening to that particular piece of music for a certain period of time will develop a habit, practice effect in the brain, which will help them to know that, yeah, I'm listening to music this particular piece in the morning. So this is morning now. In that way, you can improve their time relationship understanding. Critical thinking is a part where the one I said in the mind body coordination as well, the same part comes here. So it's like you need to know a particular notation to know which raga this is. And also, you can feel the rhythm of tabla with a particular with classical music, so that you have to know the particular tal when it's coming to the end or when it's starting. So in that part, critical thinking, get improved. Then comes the happiness and emotional well-being. There's a part, you can see my face that I'm already happy when I'm telling about a music. So yeah, music can help you being happy, and it can help you, emotional well-being as well. And it's found to be helpful in depression, mood disorders, anxiety, stress. So this is how it helps in happiness and emotional well-being. So yeah. So here are some techniques which I want to say is how music can be used as a therapy. So listening to your favorite music when feeling low is a self music therapy which one can do. Then maintaining a music diary. You can get a dedicated diary for music and write your music diary. For example, I have one diary which I have written, that Arijit's music diary, where I don't write the notations, but I write what I have listened today. And if I find some song very interesting, which I haven't heard before, I should take a note that this song, even sometimes I'm that crazy that I usually take a note of the link also, so that I'll not miss listening to that song the next time. So you can get a music diary. You can write that what music you have listened today or even yesterday. And if you have a list ready to listen, then you can write that as well as a checkbox, and you can mark that yes, it's done, but I'm going to listen to that again. So this thing can be done by maintaining a music diary. Learning some musical instrument helps people with dementia. So as a lot of people with dementia is found to have impairment in the coordination as well. So learning some music instrument from the very basic level can help. But this thing, you can't force them, but we can't force them. We have to find out their interest and have to ask them whether they want to listen or not. We have to make them try it. Otherwise, they're not going to know that whether they want to like it or not. So yeah, some instrument I can suggest is piano, some basic music in piano person can learn. Then guitar, ukulele, these are some hand instruments which can be learned. So, but yeah, make sure to get a music teacher uh, in order to learn them. Then make a music playlist. So yeah, prepare a music playlist to listen. This will definitely help you, to uh, feel better or to make your day more engaging. So yeah, then comes the keeping rhythm with music. These are part which I need to explain. So these are part of music therapy where you can play a music, and I believe a lot of music have rhythm. So you need to play that kind of music. You have to keep rhythm with your hands and leg while listening to it. So for example, start with like this, like hand, both the hands. Then do it like one hand in the table. For example, right hand you are doing for one song. The next song you will do it with the left hand. And for the next song you'll do it both the legs, no hand. Then for the next song you'll go like right hand, left leg, then left hand, right leg, then both the hands, no leg, then both the legs, no hand. This has found to be helpful in case of coordination, motor movement, critical thinking, and executive function. So these are very helpful thing. So must try. People with dementia can find it very engaging as well. So yeah. Then the next is playing musical games. There are a lot of musical games like Antakshari, pressing the ball, musical chair, finding a musical lyrics. A lot. You can definitely play those music games with your family members and all. So yeah, make sure to you should be very attentive towards the fall risk while playing the musical chair. But the other plays are like games are usually safer. And for passing the balls, don't get a cricket ball. Try to get a sponge ball, or maybe a big size sponge ball is very helpful for that. Will not harm. So yeah, then spend some time listening to the sounds of the nature. The natural therapy has found to be very effective in case of dementia and cognitive disorders. So listening to the sound of nature, listening to the sound of birds, even of the water, even of the trees, give you a very positive feeling, give you a feeling of joy, can help you in concentration. Even one can meditate, which is really helpful. So yeah, watching music videos is a way to improve your memory. So you can watch a music video in the morning, or you can make the person with dementia watch a video in the morning, and you can ask about it in the evening. So these are very useful tasks to do. And coming to the next is the assigning music for photo. What one can do is so get a photo album. I believe a lot of people have a photo album. So get a photo album and say that this ask the patient or the person with cognitive impairment to dedicate one music to the particular photo. Family photo can have a particular music, a single photo can have a particular music. So photo with your loved ones can have a particular music, and write it on that music diary so that you can have a track that this song is dedicated to that. And the next day you can ask about any of them. Either you can ask about the music and ask them to identify the photo, or you can show the photo and ask which music they have dedicated to this photo. So this can be helpful as well. When it comes to the religious music and chanting, which is find to be very engaging for a lot of people. A lot of people find a joy and pleasure while listening to religious music or even chanting. It helps you in meditate as well. The next point comes with like meditation with music. So yeah, you can definitely follow that if you're into religious music or chanting. Even religious music helps us in remembering the words and the lyrics as well, which helps us in the language section. So I remember having a patient in Nimhans who has forgot a lot of things, but she remembers the chantings and the stotras. And remembering a stotra is not an easy thing. Even I don't remember a lot of stotra, but she remember. So this is where this religious music chanting plays a part in music memory. Then there are some specific measurements need to be taken while listening to music. So make sure to maintain a comfortable sound level. Do not keep it at the full volume, and you can do not keep it in the so less volume that you can't listen to it or the other sounds can distract you. So you need to find out a comfortable sound level, volume. Then you can use earphone, headphone for a better experiences. But yeah, make sure that to not to use earphone if you have a hearing aid or any auditory impairment associated with your ear and the primary auditory complex. So in that case, do not use a earphone or headphone, or use it as per the consultation by your clinician. Then you have to maintain and maintain the hygiene and clean the earphone and headphone regularly. Otherwise, it can make some unwanted complications. Then yeah, you have to provide some listening break. Otherwise, one can develop music obsession, which I have written here. So maintain a particular time to reduce a music obsession. A lot of people have a obsession towards listening that they need music, otherwise they will behave like crazy. So this is again an obsession which can be reduced by dedicating a particular time, and this is where this this music diary helps. So you can note down that I'm listening to this music for 1 hour in the morning. So I'm going to give a break of 2 hours in between and then starting it again. The most important part is I know music is helpful. We also know music is helpful, but that doesn't mean we can force someone to listen to music. So yeah, do not force the person to listen to music. Otherwise, it can go in the wrong direction. So yeah. Then consult a music therapist for better experience. You can always have a personalized music playlist or personalized music therapy session from a music therapist. That can be done. But yeah, we have to remember that everything that has a positive impact can have a negative impact too. So if you face any negative impact or any unusual changes after listening to music, please to consult with a clinician as early as possible. So I can give some example, like if you find out having seizure or convulsion after listening to particular music, then please to consult. If you develop a unusual headache or even auditory impairment, please to consult with the clinician. Do not ignore those symptoms as well in that case. So yeah, and I'm going to play a video which is known as the Healing with Harmony, which is a music and memory story. And I'm grateful to Dr. Oliver Sacks Foundation for allowing me to use this video for the session. Yeah. Bhabit, can you see the video?
Not yet.
Not yet, no? Okay. Uh, I guess there is some issue with the video. Give me a moment.
No.
Yeah, I guess now you can see, right?
Yeah.
Is it audible? Hello? Is it audible?
No.
It's not audible. Now is it audible?
It is audible.
Music is really a wonderful vehicle that helps us get in touch with that person's humanity. If a resident had a diagnosis of dementia, the probability of use of an antipsychotic medication was very high.
Everyday physical altercation. It ends up in fight and it ends up in force.
HHC precipitated this availability of iPods. That really started to coalesce a lot of creative endeavors in how to add humanity in the care of dementia residents who live in a nursing home. Dementia is not an identity, it is a diagnosis, and people still continue to be the people that they are.
See them responding by moving their heads or tapping their feet. And if you walk up to them to say, "You like it?" they go by the nod of a yes.
We were able to program many of the iPods with music that was specific to the needs of individual residents.
If I can give them a mix of music that they want, it just makes them that much happier, and it makes them that much easier to get along with. So like I say, sometimes if you're not going through what the resident is going through, you mentally you won't really understand it. But if you could relate to them through music, it's one of the best things in the world.
Abuela, abuela, música, 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 sí, música, música,
Place of music in everyone's life is so unique because it begins to blend in with our emotional memories.
Having music and memory, and we have the ability to just bring back that person, sometimes for a moment and sometimes for a day, it's worth more than 1,000 words.
Music and memory has impacted with the staff as well by reducing a lot of the stress that we hitherto had suffered by trying to make these residents comfortable.
Anybody who has brain is at risk for dementia. So I always tell my staff, and I always think that see ourselves in our residents. So when we have passion for the residents, we do that.
Music and memory works because it's a wonderful way to individualize, recognizing who this person is, recognizing his or her personality, and really through music bringing out what that person's being in touch with their own life.
So yeah, I think you like watching the video.
Yes.
So there's a sentence in the video which I really liked is the people still continue to be the people they are. So you shouldn't differentiate them, and this is where the music can heal with harmony. So yeah, coming to the next slide, there are some popular books which talks about the music's effect on our brain and on our mind state, even on dementia. The first book comes is Musicophilia by none other than Dr. Oliver Sacks, who has given this world a new ray of hope with his musical understanding by sharing his key studies related to music and neurological conditions. So then the next book comes is Music and Dementia, From Cognition to Therapy by Dr. Amy Bird, who is the main author. This book discusses about how to use music in dementia and the cognitive impairment. And the next book comes, This is Your Brain on Music by Dr. Daniel Levitin. So this book describes how our brain get involved with the music and how it understands the effect of music in the brain. Then the next book is a very interesting read. It's called as The World in 6 Songs, which explains that music has no language. So this whole world can be connected by one thing, that is music, again by Dr. Daniel Ivety. So the next book is by an Indian author, Dr. Anirudh T. Patel. It's called as Music, Language and the Brain, which describes the effect of music on the language section and on the other executive functioning of the brain. So yeah, these are the few books which you can follow to know more about music's effect on our brain and mental health. Yeah. So coming to a conclusion, we can say that music in dementia is a new ray of hope. It's a non-pharmacological approach which can help us, the whole world in the fight with dementia. It can help in reducing the pharmaceutical drug dosing in case of dementia. And yeah, it's not only the memory which get improved by music, but it's the overall cognition which improves by listening to a music or following some musical task. The current neuromusicology world is growing so fast, and we can hope that in the very near future, music will become a frontline treatment option for dementia and the other cognitive impairment as well as for other non cognition and neurological disorders. So, yeah, these are some references which I've used to prepare this presentation. And these are a few people whom I'd like to thank who helped me in gaining knowledge and experience in this field of neuroscience, music, and dementia. Dr. Shivarna Lati, who is my supervisor, as well as the professor in HOD at the Department of Neurology, NIMHANS. Pandit Purbayan Chatterjee, my Guruji for Sita, is an Indian Sita maestro. Dr. Fai Masad, Dr. Sandeep Kumar, Dr. Kalsita M. Tumaino, Dr. Isabel Perez, and Dr. T.V. Sairam, who helped me in understanding the effect of Indian classical music in dementia and the neurological conditions. He's the director of Indian Music Therapy Association. Then the Music and Memory Organization from USA has, the video I showed is documented by them only. And the Center of Excellence for designing the excellent course for music therapy. Dr. Oliver Sacks Foundation for helping me in reading the books and getting those videos and gaining knowledge in this field. And most importantly, my friend Dr. Babit and your own growth for inviting me for this session. So this all. Thank you so much for having me today.
So thank you so much, Arijit, for a great session, what we had today. So we have come across so many things that you have started with the problem, the prevalence of it, the solutions of it, and what is the importance of music. So my first question would be that how do you think that the training in these kind of domain are available in India or not, first of all? And if it is available, how to deal or how to give that opportunity to the common people who comes to the hospital?
Okay, so just reframing the question, you want to ask about the music therapy training in India, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's I must say it's not that widely available because outside India, music therapy is one of the frontline therapeutic aspect which is used for a lot of conditions. In India, we are still behind to that state. We will not find a lot of music therapists around us, or even the organizations who can provide music therapy training. Very few institutions in India are providing this therapy. But I must say that India has its own, musical charm, that Indian classical music. It's our patent. So, and that has a lot of benefits in conditions and in our mental health well-being. So I think India needs more research and more exposure to music therapy in order to develop some advanced tools related to music therapy in the neurological conditions as well as for non-neurological conditions as well. So, yeah.
So next question would be that how do you think that the research point of view is missing in these kind of therapies? Because to prove that it is working or not, do you think that the research point of view or evidence-based practice is required now?
Definitely, definitely. So research is the most important thing to get a overview of whether it's really working or not. I know that there are a lot of uh, people, a lot of scientists working on neuromusicology, music cognition, and they're doing really well. But the number is very few. So this number need to grow higher so that a lot of people will come to this field and can involve themselves in knowing what is the effect of music in brain health, in mental health, in the conditions, so that we can take those researches as a reference to execute it as a non-pharmacological therapeutic option. Even in USA, there is a particular stream called music medicine, where it's different from music therapy. So in therapy, they involve a lot of activities along with the listening task. But in music medicine, they do not include the activities. They include a particular dosage of music, particular type of music, which is made individualized for that person. So yeah, those are the things I think we need to start in India as early as possible, so that we can have a good non-pharmacological therapeutic option for a lot of conditions.
So my next question would be that as you are from the engineering background, how do you bring yourself in the picture of music and with the neurology?
Okay, so I believe that it do matters your academic background, but what I feel is if you like it, then there is no boundary to go for it. So I learned music for around 15 years, but in between that I have I like left playing sitar for around 4 or 5 years, and I have started it again when I joined my engineering course. So this is when I slowly thought that why not including music into science. So as I'm a musician, I can't stay even an hour without music. So why not including it into the science? And when it comes to neurology or neuroscience, biotechnology is a what I can say, it's a broad term. There are a lot of subjects come under biotechnology. It's basically biology plus technology. So all the subjects related to biology and technology comes under this umbrella term biotechnology. So I can't see any barrier while going for neuroscience research from biotechnology background. Even I have the opportunity to go for the biological option for neuroscience as well as for the technical part of the neuroscience. And yeah, as a musician and as a music lover, I felt that yeah, I can definitely combine these three aspects of biotechnology, neuroscience, and music for my future research. So I think this multidisciplinary approach is very much needed for research perspective.
So thank you so much for all the questions and the answers you have given to us. And I hope this session would be useful for many individuals or many doctors and students who are pursuing their biotechnology as well as in the domain of music and neurology.
Yeah.
So I would like to thank you that you came on our platform and gave your time to all of us. Thank you so much to come on up.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me for this session, and I hope it helps. If someone have other questions, they can write in the comment section as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.